Hi folks, good afternoon, hope you're all well. So this is going to be a inbox review of this kit, as you can see in front. My last video, which was my September update, I believe, August-September update, one or the other, I had a couple of folks ask me to do either a couple of photographs of the sprues for them, or like a quick look in the box for them. So I'm going to do a quick an inbox review, so I can stick it to the my list of reviews. For my channel now, I'm going to change the name of Boring Old Inbox Reviews just to, I was trying to think of something the other day, just something a bit catchy, something a bit different. And all my reviews now are going to be flipping the lid, unless obviously the book reviews, and then they're going to be turning the page, I think, or some, I can't remember what I named them. But yeah, so they're going to be flipping the lid. So this is a new release by Academy, but it's not a new release of the kit. So what I'm going to do is with my reviews, I'm going to try and do a bit of history about the vehicle, and I'm also going to do a bit of history about the kit as well. Now, unless I've heard off other guys, most of the information, apart from the history of the actual vehicle, obviously, the history of the kit will come from Scalemates majority of the time. So yeah, so that's that. So a bit of history about the kit. It was brought out, I believe, back in 2005, and it was originally released by Accurate Miniatures. Accurate Miniatures then, between 2005 to 2010, did another 2 releases of it. So they did 2 on the whole, and all they did during that time was just add a couple of new parts. Then in 2010, I believe a company called Azurs, Azur, released it again with new parts, but it was the Accurate Miniatures kit. That was back in 2010. Then nothing else has been done of that kit, of that release or whatever else, until now 2018, which is this release that you see in front of you by Academy. I do know that Academy are bringing out an SB2U-3, I believe, and it's the Battle of Indonesia or something like that. It is, I think. I've just seen it advertised on a book I've just bought with a magazine free in the back of it. So I know that they're bringing this out again, but it'll be the 5 version, I think. And I believe it's the Battle of Indonesia. I might be wrong with that, but anyway. So yeah, the kit was released, like I say, by Academy. I bought this for £25.99 from Hannants.co.uk or Hannants.com here in England. E-models have it in for £23.39. A company in Germany called MBK, that's Mike Bravo Kilo in Germany, they retail it as €29.95, which equates to about £27 around that price mark, £27.50 or something like that. And then it also retails in a model shop, I believe, in Poland called plasticmodel.pl, and that retails at 106.99 in the pound mark or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is offhand. Sorry about that. And that equates to about £22.78 in the English pound. There are aftermarket parts available for the kit. There's resin, there's photo etch, there's decals, but it is all for the Accurate Miniatures kit, which I believe they will obviously fit this. Hang on a minute. When I ordered the kit, I ordered the photo etch for the kit, the control panels and all that, and also some masks. However, it does actually come with a masking set now. And Academy, a lot of the new releases by Academy are actually providing you with masking sets. The M1A2 Tusk that they brought out in 2016, that a masking set in 1/35 scale. That comes with a masking set for the armour and that around the commander and that, so that's pretty good. And it also comes with photo etch seat belts in here, which I didn't realise, but you know, by the by. The kit comes with 3 different callouts, which I will show you when we go through the instructions. And that is about it, really. The vehicle history, it's a Vought SB2U Vindicator. It was an American carrier-based dive bomber. It was developed in around the 1930s for the Navy. It was the first monoplane in its role. The first flight was back in 1936, which was the 4th of January 1936, and then it retired in 1945. 1943, it had all the aircraft withdrawn, and they were basically used in the training units and stuff like that. However, Vindicators did remain in service, and at the time of the Battle of Midway, which obviously this is for that, the Royal Navy named them Chesapeake, I think it was, or Chesapeake, or Chesapeake, or whatever. I really don't know why that is, because I do believe that Chesapeake is a city, I think, in America somewhere. Is it Virginia? Something like that, I think. I'm certain that that's right. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. There was over 260 overall that were built, and the USA had them. The United States Marine Corps had them. The French Navy had some, and the Royal Navy also had some. Okay. So the kit is 1/48 scale. It's aircraft. The manufacturer's Academy, and the kit number is 12324. That's 12324. And it's a nice bit of box art. It looks like it's bombing, or just been bombing some sort of Japanese carrier, perhaps, something like that. There's pictures of the kit built up on that side, and a bit of information of what the kit comes with. It's a US Navy carrier-based dive bomber employed during the early stages of World War II. There's masking seal for clear parts included, and contains photo etched parts. Pardon me. There's more pictures of the kit there. Let's just pull the camera up slightly. That's one side of the end of the box. That's that side with the colour callouts, which are Humbrol, Enamel, Acrylics, GSI, Creos, Mr. Mr. Hobby, Mr. Colour, Live Colour, Testers, Model, Master, Acrylics and Enamels, Revell, Enamels and Acrylics, and Vallejo, Model Colour and Model Air. It's skill level 4. And then on that side, it obviously has it sort of that way, which I do like, because then obviously if you're flat packing your kits that way, you've got it a nice sort of way that way, or if you're putting them on the side, you've got the end that way. I know Eduard do a lot of that with their kits too. Right, so in the box, let's see what we get in the box. Excuse me, that nearly collapsed. I'll just tighten this camera up a bit more, sorry. So in the box, I love this. My favourite part of the review in-box reviews are when you take the lid off and you can see what's in the box, like so, and how the kit comes. And then I aren't particularly bothered about the rest of the kit. I know it sounds bad, but there you go. So that's that. So you get your 2 sets of instructions, clear parts, 1-2 sprues, 3-4 sprues, your photo etch, which are the belt and the masking set, and then your decals, which are by Cartograph, which will be nice because Academy decals tend to be notoriously thick. A warning sheet of don't suck the kit, don't eat it, don't put it in your ears, read the instructions properly and all that, bump. And then check all the parts list first, and then how to cut your parts off and all that. So it is pretty good for, you know, if you're a starter or if you're a beginner, like that. So let's have a look at what we get. So let's start with the instructions. Now, I did do this yesterday, and the camera ran out on me, so there you go. I've also added this nice Mark 1 towel. so you can see the parts a bit better. Hopefully you will. So let's turn the lights on so we can see them a bit better. So the instructions. Box art here. Let's move you a bit closer, see if that works any better. So you get your box art there, and then all the information here. Then you've got the key of what all the different markings and all that they put next to each piece. Then you've got all your paint callouts, what you need for to build the kit. It's not a booklet, it's like a fold out sort of booklet type thing. So you start on number 1, obviously. So straight away you start building a cockpit up, but it's quite nice, as you can see, because you've got a photograph of the actual part and it's telling you what to remove and all that type of thing, which is nice. And then it tells you about the photo etch, seat belts and all that type of thing. And then it's got another drawing here, clear, a proper photo of your pilot seat here. So this is obviously all the pilot sort of side, which does look very well detailed, which is nice. Clear, concise. Yeah, not bad. So number 2, again, you've got another photograph of the opposite side, I believe. Anyway, no, then you start, then you've got the gunner's cockpit part, which is very well detailed, as you can see here, which is nice. Again, a proper picture of the parts here and there, and then of the seat and how the buckles should look. Part 3, you come on to attaching the fuselage bits together, which looks nice, and again another photograph of the actual part. And then this is what I quite like here, the engine. Now, a lot of kits, especially these Corsairs and Vought Corsairs and that type of thing, and the Grummans, I've noticed with the engines, some of the kits come where you have to either buy aftermarket photo etch to attach like the piping around these bits of the engine, or you can actually buy, or you can add your own bits of fuse wire or something like that to attach it to. But this part's actually nice, you actually get something like that included. Then you get the engine cowlings to put together with the exhaust pipes at the end, and then it's there added properly all together. Then we turn over and then we come to part 5, where you're starting to stick the wings together, which looks quite nice. And then you put the rear wings together, the rear stabilizers together. Then you come to the landing gear, which you've got a proper photograph of how the parts should look, which is nice. Then you come on to the suspension arms and then the wheels, and then how to put the wheels together and what they should look like and what colours and that to do. And a proper photograph again here at the bottom of how it should look. And same again. Another couple of pictures of how the wheels should look, the front view and the rear view of them, which is quite nice. Then you attach your bombs together, and then you attach everything underneath and add the propeller. Then there's a map of your masking set and whereabouts on the canopies it should go. And then that's the first instruction manual complete. Then we come on to the second one, which is manual 2. Again, you've got how the cockpits should look if you're having them openness, as they call it on here. And then again here, a picture of how you should have the cockpits and the aerials and the tail lights and all that type of stuff. And then in the middle, you've got your painting reference and your call out. So you've got 2, which are your, let me have a look, I believe they are blue, grey over light grey, which I think is these 2. And then you've got your third one, which is basically overall grey. Now these 2 are Midway Island, so the Battle of Midway, and then this one is Hawaii, the 7th of December 1941, so I believe that will be the attack of Pearl Harbor, so that will have been around at that part. Then you've got a sprue map at the bottom, at the back of manual 2. Okay, so then we come on to our decals, which you can see look very nice. Let's open them up. Okay, so they look very nice. They're not too thick, so they're your typical cartograph ones. They don't look too thick at all, and they feel okay as well, which is quite nice. You've got your instrument panels there, your dials of your instrument panels, if that's going to focus. I don't suppose it will. Anyway, you can make it out as you can see. Yeah, decals are decals, but yeah, they're nice. They look nice. Then you got your masking set, which is a masking set, so you can't really say much more to that. And then you get your seat belts, which are quite a nice touch. And the harnesses, and they're painted already, so that's quite a nice little touch. And they've got a bit of graininess to them, which is nice. And then we come on to the parts. So I opened them up yesterday as I was doing it first. So we come on to part E. So you've got your engine cowlings there, a couple of your bombs, which are nicely detailed. Very nicely detailed bombs there, not too bad at all. They're in two halves, which is a shame. I'd love to have a kit one day where you've got the bombs all together with no seam lines on or nothing. I'd love that. I know some kits come with some like missiles and that, but you know. And then you've got your wings. There's no ejection marks anywhere, which is quite nice, apart from on the inside of them. Nice plastic. Not bad at all. Then you've got your main wings, which is Sprue G, is it? Yeah, Sprue G. So that bit's all raised detail panel lining there. However, these bits here aren't. These are all recessed panel linings, which is nice. But these bits here are all raised. You've got the kink in the wing, which is nice too. All really nice. There's no marks or scuffs on them, which isn't too bad, which is good. And then of course you've got the insides of them. But again, everything that's inside you won't see, so it's not a massive issue at all. Again, the plastic's nice. And then you come to Sprues B. It's set out like this. So you've got your bit of the cockpit with the parachute, is it, behind, which looks nice. You've actually got the material indentations on the cockpit of the parachute, which is nice. And then you've got an oxygen bottle underneath the seat and all that, and a bit of piping, which is nice. The springs on the what look like the wheels and that underneath the one of the seats, which looks nicely detailed. You've got a bit of an injection pin mark in the middle of that one there, but I mean you can get rid of that. It's not too much of a problem. The wheels are, the tyres and that are just normal printed. You've actually got some weighted type ones there, which is quite nice. The other seat here doesn't look, the pilot seat that must be, doesn't look as though it's got an injection pin mark, which is nice. And you've got your guns here at the back, which again, not one of my pet hates is, if any of you follow me will know, I hate gun barrels that are not drilled out, so I'll have to do that. You've got a bit of the nice framework underneath at the bottom of the cockpit, the outside, which is nice. You've got the actual, the material type thing. Yeah, that's all nice. Looks very nice. And then you come to the two fuselage halves, which you've got you've got the sort of how the metal's folded around the framing. You've got the frames showing through, which is quite a nice touch. There's the engine detail that we were mentioned earlier, which again the engine looks very nice. You've got the frames inside, then you've got your propeller, which doesn't look too bad. A little tad bit of flash, a couple of ejection pin marks on the inside of it, so you probably won't see that. And then the inside of the cockpit, which you've got the frames, which is quite nice, but you've got a couple of ejection pin marks here and here and there, but again you might not see them, so you'd have to see how the cockpit looks and dry fit it perhaps first before you you go into everything. But yeah, it all looks good. And then the final sprue, which is the clear parts. I don't like that already. It's come loose off the sprue frame. The control panel is see-through, so you could perhaps get away with perhaps putting the decals on the inside, and then sort of you've got the glassy look if you can pull that off. You've got one full cockpit canopy, which looks nice. There's no seam line down the middle, which is nice, nor is a seam line down the middle of the front windscreen. It all looks okay, not too bad at all. A bit of scuffing on this one here, but that's not too bad. And then again, the single one, a couple of little scratches which have obviously been caused by it coming off the fret. But all in all, guys, I'm quite happy with that kit for the price as well. It's very, very nicely detailed kit. So there you go. So that is the Flipping the Lid inbox review of the Academy USN SB2U-3 Battle of Midway 1/48 scale by Academy. Hope you're well. Hope you all stay safe, and may the force be with you guys. Bye.